give us the citation for our honorable guest?
Was born on the 1st of December 1969 in Kaduna to the family of late Pastor Francis Shaibu of Jato Uzario in Estapo West local government area of Edo State, Nigeria. Honorable Comrade Philip Shaibu started his education at St. Augustine Primary School, Tunuwada, Kaduna, and later finished at LEA Primary School, Barnawa, Kaduna. He attended Sounduna Memorial Secondary School, Kao, Kaduna, and later proceeded to the University of Jos, Plateau State, where he badged a BSc in accounting in the year 2000 and an MBA in VIU, University of Benin. As a student union leader and activist, he occupied the following positions: Coordinator NANS. NANS stands for National Association of Nigerian Students, Zone C, so it didn't just start today. Coordinator Abacha Moscow, 1996 to 1997. Welfare Secretary Students Union, the University of Jos. NANS President, 1999 to 2000. He has also been very active in the political space of Nigeria and has served in the following positions: Special Advisor to the Governor of Edo State on Labor in 2006 to 2007, elected member of Edo State Member of House of Assembly 2007 to 2015, Minority Whip EDHA 2007 to 2009, Majority Leader 2009 to 2015, elected member of the National Assembly, big one. Yeah. Honorable Comrade Philip Shaibu is a lawmaker, has constantly promoted transparency in governance and the way government businesses is conducted. As a member of the Edo House of Assembly, he championed the cause of letting the people know that constituency projects is all about embarking on several constituency projects in Estapo West Constituency 2, and also revealing to his constituents the amount budgeted and released for such projects. That's transparency. He started and completed a total of 48 constituency projects. Honorable Philip Shaibu moved over 80 motions on the floor of the House, and he sponsored 27 bills. In the House of Reps, he has continued in the same manner, having moved 10 motions already within the last 9 months. He is currently working on several people-oriented and poor bills. Comrade Philip Shaibu is a member of the National Working Committee of the All Progressive Congress, the ruling party in Nigeria. He is a detribalized Nigerian patriot who believes in youth empowerment through education and mentorship. He is happily married and blessed with children.
I would recognize him. So I'll say the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Senate President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Speaker, House of Representatives, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Honorable Philip Shaibu, which is present here today, House of Representatives, Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Executive Team, University of Sunderland, Student Union Executives, University of Sunderland, the Executive Council, 2015-2016 Academic Section for Nigerian Society Sunderland, the General Committee, 2015-2016 Academic Session, Nigerian Society Sunderland, the Electoral Committee, 2015-2016 Academic Session, Nigerian Society Sunderland, gentlemen and women of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we have been blessed by the presence of a distinguished Nigerian who has made and still making landmarks in his lifetime. We are grateful to God Almighty for bringing someone like you at a time when Nigeria is being labeled as fantastically corrupt. A man ready to show the world the two sides of the coin. In times like this, when presidents doing all they can to ensure that landmarks of corruption are destroyed completely. Sir, we are very proud to have you and to have joined the forces of change to ensure active measures are in place to ensure that Nigeria is great once again, so that we can all say that we are proud to be a Nigerian. On behalf of Nigerian students studying in university, I welcome you once again to the University of Sunderland. I also want the students and all women Nigerians to say well done to all your positive and meaningful contributions on the floor of the Parliamentary House in Nigeria. More grace to your elbow, sir. Nigerian Sunderland started a few years ago through the effort of some students who thought it wise to foster unity amidst the Nigerian student community here in Sunderland. Through the years, the number of Nigerian studies in this university has grown exponentially. At the moment, there are more than 450 Nigerians registered and studying at various levels within this university. Most of these students are based on the Faculty of Applied Sciences, which covers courses such as nursing, pharmacy, environmental health and safety, and public health. We have more than 20 Nigerians studying currently under PhD research. Our society is small. It's a small one, but it is growing in leaps and bounds. As a society, we have always celebrated unique days in the Nigerian calendar. The May 29, of course, and Oxford October 1st being examples. Within the Nigerian community here in this university, some of our members have done very well for themselves, while making our country, Nigeria, very proud. A Nigerian student gave one of the best legislative services speeches at the graduation ceremony last year. A Nigerian has been elected for the very first time the president of the University of the Student Union, despite all odds, notably being black. He won the seat by a wide margin. A Nigerian student won the award for the best course representatives for the 2014-2015 academic session in the entire school. Nigerian Society has been nominated for 3 awards in the university, one of which is the Best Society of the Year, the result of which will be announced tonight at the sports ball. Also, very rarely do we see this. Very rarely do we see this. But Nigerian students also gave back to triplets while studying for a master's degree in this university.
As a matter of fact, it was noted that the Honorable House of Rep member in the midst loves football, and in consonance with that love for football, earlier today, during the executive meeting with the university, we are excited to announce that he's been made officially a Sunderland fan, because he's been given a Sunderland jersey. God is a Man U fan, but he's today doubling as both a Man U fan and a Sunderland fan officially. I hope you will comment on that much later. But ladies and gentlemen, we are really making good progress here, and I have the honor and the privilege to introduce to you a man I call father. Please sit down.
I want to thank you for the kind words, but in our usual character, I became member of all the assembly and all the CD courtesy of one movement, and that movement is the student movement. And so I recognize that student movement. It has done well for me, and without the student movement, I won't be Philip Shaibu. So for that, I say greatest Nigeria student. Great! Greatest Nigeria student. Great! Articulate Nigeria student. Articulate! Ever-conscious Nigeria student. Ever-conscious! Militant Nigeria student. Ever-militant! Ever-ready Nigeria student. Ever-ready! Greatest of the greatest of the greatest. And minus population in Nigeria is about 70% of this population. Close to 80% of the youths are unemployed or underemployed, according to the Central Bank of Nigeria report published in 2014. The government in Nigeria today came to power on the basis of change. we must, however, ask ourselves, who are the owners of change? The owners of change are not the leaders of the political parties, but the suffering, downtrodden masses who daily pay the ultimate price for bad leadership. The owners of change are not those of us who hold high offices in the land, but those of you who have the major stake in tomorrow, who, out of tiredness with inefficient power supply, stood under the sun and rain to vote change. Those of you who are working many hours in order to afford quality education abroad, but are yet willing to come back home and make Nigeria a better place. You are the true owners of change. Those of you who believe that Nigeria can be fixed and are willing to support the government by contributing your honest quota to make Nigeria the pride of the black man and not the shame of the world. You are the true owners of change. The leaders you see today may at best be the midwives of change, but the true owners of change are you, young men. Nigerians not fixed in the old way, but enthusiastic about the possibility of today and the brilliant dream of tomorrow. So rise up and take charge of your destiny and your nation by the change. Own the change. What is the duty of Nigerian youth? Every generation has its own duty, clearly defined by providence, to be fulfilled or to betray. Our generation ended, one generation ended colonialism, another generation ended military rule. The duty before our generation is to end poverty, kill corruption, enthrone meritocracy, and change some aspect of our culture to a culture of excellence in thought and in deed. To fulfill your historical duty, be prepared to lead and retire those of us who are not performing with youth. To fulfill your historic duties, be prepared to lead and retire those of us who are not performing our duties. Youth should be prepared for the task of leading the true change. John C. Maxwell said, leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. I'm ever excited by the way late Melis Morris put it. He says, leadership is the capacity to influence others through inspiration, motivation by passion, generated by vision, produced by conviction that is ignited by purpose. To know what leadership is not enough, yet must start the lifelong pursuit of finding out more through study and application of lessons learned to daily challenges and your surrounding. You must respond to leadership deficit in Nigeria by consciously preparing yourself for the exciting tasks ahead, owning change and changing Nigeria for good through effective leadership. Does Nigerian Constitution afford the youth opportunity for inclusiveness in governance? The Nigerian Constitution provided that you must be at least 40 years old to contest to be President of Nigeria. Section 31 Assembly is eligible to be a member of the National Assembly. Defaulting to Section 46, which provide for a minimum voting age of 18 years. That means South Africa too, 18 years is the minimum in the National Assembly election. Section 106 and 105 provide the same for provincial legislature. So even at the local government level in South Africa, if 18 years is the minimum age for voting, that means 18 years for you to be a local government chairman, which is their provincial. In their own side, they operate a provincial system of government. While in Nigeria, 18 is 30 in Nigeria. So, and in Scotland, okay, provided the same in the provincial legislation. Here in the United Kingdom, excluding Scotland, a person must be aged 18 or over in Scotland, 16 in Scotland, to stand in election to all parliamentary and assemblies and council, including that of an elected mayor, whether of London or local authority. We as a country may need to review those provisions that restrict access to elective positions for many of our adult citizens on age ground. Most of our early post-colonial leaders were in their 20s and 30s when they led Nigeria. M.T. Ubu was a minister at 25, High Commissioner to the United Kingdom at 26, Richard Akinjide was Minister of Education at 32, Mita Sule was Oil Minister at 29, and Yakubu Gowon was Head of State at 32. As a member of the National Assembly, I am already working on amending certain portions of our Constitution so as to open up the space for youth participation in leadership of the country at an early age. We should not have men and women in their 50s going into leadership position as a learner. Politics is a serious business because our lives and the future of our country is at stake. Early preparation and youth inclusiveness should therefore be a key element of change agenda of this administration.
Someone's hand up. All right, Chris. Chris, make it loud and clear to everyone.
I'd like to thank the Honorable Philip Shaibu for his speech. We are very well humbled to be in your presence. But then my question is directed at your comment that we should put our toes down and demand that you walk the talk, and we should demand change. But as youth, how do we inspire that change if in our country when we protest we are shot at, and when we protest abroad we are laughed at?
Good day, sir, or good evening, sir. We are very humbled to be in your presence, sir. My question goes, if I would want to ask, if you were the president of Nigeria, what would be your response or your answers, or what would be your solutions to the ongoing massacre that has happened in the eastern Nigeria, where the Fulani herdsmen have killed a lot of local farmers? I am asking because it has been a topic here in the university where Nigerians have talked, and we have always brought suggestions on how to, settle or how we can cope with that. Because from my own point of view, I know that the issue of nomadism has been in the country even before now, years ago. So how has it been settled all this while, and why is it a problem right in this dispensation of APC? Because I'm saying APC because I know it's your party.
Oh, really?
You've said something about the president and the integrity of APC. Could you just shed more light, Your Honor? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That was quite
A young man that will see a vision, a young man that will bring the young attitude into governance. And everybody clapped for him. He handed over to Shagari. 1999, it was 20 years he made that statement. 20 years after, the man that was happy to have handed over to a young man in 1999, 20 years after, he was president of Nigeria. So, are we growing or we are going back? But unfortunately, that democracy was one democracy that all of us fought. We were all fighting against the military. But as we were fighting, we also were not sure that the people we were fighting will get result immediately. We fought and God heard our prayers, and we got the result of our fight earlier than we expected. And at that time, we were not prepared for governance.
So the same characters that we were fighting against brought their own agent to take over in 1999. And those agents also continue in their attitude of corruption, and that is what has led us to the level we are. If you check, most of the first set of governors and second set are all from one EFCC issue to the other. Even the president is not free. The voting history is still hanging. You understand? So these are the issues. So that is why some of us are feeling that in the banking sector in Nigeria, what turned around the banking sector was the introduction of young boys and young ideas. Nigerian banking sector was almost dead. But the young guys took over the system. Before you know, there was changes. So some of us are saying that maybe these our leaders still have the whole mentality, and Nigeria is growing to a level where we need to be Y2K compliant. Everything is done. Everything you want to do can be done with this your handset. Unlike before, for you to type a message, you need a giant typewriter that you'll be hitting, and you need, by the time you are done, all your body is stained with ink. But that's not the issue now. So we need new generation. And the only way is to also amend the law to the extent that you will have a legitimate grant to contest, not to reduce you to 40, 50. And also the issue also, some people argue that it's not about age. It's about the idea and the quality of the person. And that is why in my speech I said that for you to take power, not through arms, but through what comes out from you, through your intelligence, through your creativeness, through what you can offer, that nobody can fault it. But the problem we have in Nigeria is that when you engage the young man, before one or two statements, it go violent. If you ask an average, I'm from South South, an average Niger Delta youth that is blowing those pipes and sabotaging the effort for the government to put things right, those that want to fix, it will tell you now oil. Why they take our oil to fix Abuja? Is that your problem? We call Nigeria one Nigeria. If it's one Nigeria, then the facilities of Nigeria should be used for the whole Nigeria. They will tell you, okay, they want Niger Delta to be like Nigeria. It's to our glory. But have you asked the question? They want to tie a road in Gelegele in Edo State. The youth will ask for every kilometer you have to pay. The contractor have to pay. The community that the road will be constructed has a percentage in the contract. You understand? Then by the time the community heads have collected money, the youth will now face the company. They must have community liaison youth, they must have community liaison officer for the village. Every step it goes, you must drop. If you don't drop the barricade. Now, the same money, the same road that is awarded in Niger Delta is awarded in the north. The youth in the north are not asking for money from the contractors. So you discover that the one that is done by federal government in Gelegele will spend 4 to 5 years being done, while the one that is being done in Sokoto will spend only, maybe if it is for 12 months, that 12 months they will deliver the site in 12 months, whereas your own is been there. So when you look at those engagements, you discover that we also are the architect of our problem. Why can't we have the young generation that demand that Niger Delta should be like Dubai and get government to award those jobs, supervise that those jobs are done to specification to create growth in that area? If you have a young generation that believe that there must be development in the Niger Delta and do not create obstacle for development, do not blow up pipeline, but they instead play up and protest over jobs that are supposed to be done in 12 months are being delayed, you will see a change. They will take us more seriously. They will no longer see us as thugs that are only useful during election and they give us what we want, peanuts, from the abundance of the loot. And after the election, we become beggar again. they will say, don't mind them. When election comes, we can always give them money. So that is why I said, you have the conscious time. I mean, you have to think deeply, be intelligent, train yourself. By the time you start giving out the best out of you, quality best out of you, nobody can stop you. Nobody can stop you. I, for instance, in my constituency in 2003, I came to contest. And I told them that I was not going to contest under the ruling party. My people said, it's not possible. You see, Anene, you must go to Ishan to go and get blessing from Chief Anene. I said, Anene is from Ishan, I am from a donut. It is the people of my constituency that will determine my fate, not Chief Anene. And they took it to him and said, there's a young man, he says he's former president of NANS. He said, you cannot stop him from the transfer, a different thing that I said. And I contested the election, I was rigged out, but I didn't stop. In 2006, I saw the way they rigged me out. I mobilized the youth, mobilized the women, and I make sure every polling unit and where they were announced, I insisted that, I told the police, I said, if you rig, you will die. Yes. If I lose, announce it. If I win, you want to change the result, you will die. They thought I was joking. They said, you are openly telling us we are going to fight against Nigerian government. I said, no, I'm going to fight with my people against government that is not abiding by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And the man said, what? I said, if I lose, declare that I lost. If I win, you want to change the result, you will not live there. And I've given the instruction around. And I told everybody, the government announced that vote and go home. I said, the Constitution says you have the right to observe. Vote and remain. And that was how we mobilized the masses. Every polling unit, we mobilized our people. And we also insisted that they follow their result to collation center. From collation center, they follow it to where they are until it is announced, nobody goes home. So by the time the 50 from collation 1 to the 10 in collation 2 start moving towards out stage by stage. By the time we are getting to the final place of announcement, it was more like a rally. You try anything in that place, how many people will you shoot? So they saw that it was impossible to change result. That was how they announced what was collated, and I won. For the first time, an opposition person won this election. And at that time, they said, don't mind that useless boy. Yes, useless boy, but I achieved my aim. And when I got there, the first motion that I moved has to do with, it was generated by the people. The first bill that I moved was consolidation of taxes in the state, because government derived a method of collecting tax using the same youth. They use the same youth to collect tax that there's no remitted to the government. So you see every street, youth becoming thugs in the name of tax collection, multiple taxation, and the people who were helpless had to propose a law to correct all this. It was difficult to pass. I had to mobilize people again that were affected, that see the bill moved, and government is about to stop it. If they stop it, you continue to pay all these multiple taxes. But if you pass it, this is what you are going to pay. So I have done my own work. If you don't come to the state assembly by so day, the thing will not pass. But if they see the multitude outside, they can't do anything, it will be passed. And that was how Ring Road was invaded, and the law was passed. So there are many ways you can get government to do. The power of the people is more than the gun the policeman will shoot.
That's right.
And when he carries that gun and you see the multitude, he can't fire that trigger. That was how we fought the military. Even in democracy, because they brought their court, they were also behaving like them. So, young man, that is the way. Don't reduce yourself to handouts. Because those handouts are stolen money, dirty money. Why not? You are here as Nigeria. Most of you do your work, work at night, and you come to classes in the morning. That is the spirit that we need our youth
to imbibe. When you imbibe in that spirit, when you get that certificate, you are getting a quality certificate that you value because it was through your energy and strength and discipline and sacrifice that you got it. And when you get it, you won't really want somebody to toy with it. So we need a Nigeria that do not rely on free money, free gift that has become the order of the day. So that is answering you. Then the issue of Fulani S-men, it has become a serious problem. We had a public hearing to seek for Nigerian contribution on what the National Assembly should do about the Fulani S-men and the crisis that has generated. Somehow we discovered that some of these things, some have said it's Boko Haram in another shape, that are coming in another shape, because the Fulani people have been living with them and they have had a good relationship and they relate together, they marry each other, they attend each other's programs. How come suddenly across the Middle Belt and part of the Southeast, they are now carrying guns, sophisticated weapons, and killing and destroying communities? But it's something that is a very sensitive thing that we are addressing. But nonetheless, some are saying that we should return back to having ranches as against allowing them to continue to destroy farm, because when you continue to graze, that is what creates this crisis. Why some are saying there should be a particular area that normally farmers will not farm, it becomes a grazing reserve. Why some are seeking that some part of the state, a certain percentage of land in certain areas should be put aside for things like that. So, but the issues are still on. We are working on it. But the immediate thing the government has done is to get the military to be at alert on areas of those grazing, so that at the end of the day, we will not have a repetition of the Agatu and the Enugu things that have happened. Then the first question was walking the talk. Yeah, I think the way you can get our government to do the right thing is what I told you. Yeah, Nigerian government as it is now is very, very sensitive to protest. It's very, very sensitive to protest. Because why? The country cannot afford protest now. So they are doing everything possible to see how dialogue will be the order of the day. And now, if you have any issues to really address, it is easier for you to address it through dialogue, through constructive criticism, through protests at the Villa, protests in the National Assembly. Those things are easy way you can get all of us to see. Recently, the issue of vehicles to be bought for senators and everything. Some Nigerians came to invade the National Assembly that we should not buy those vehicles. For 4 days, they occupied the National Assembly. And we were not passing through our gates. We were not passing through the back door to go and walk. Because of that, it was suspended. So there are many lawful ways you can get your leaders to listen, and we are gradually working to a real full-blown democracy. Because some of us that have been in government too, like me, have always criticized that we are still in transition to democracy. I've always said that when people tell me, you are in government and you are talking like that, I say, yeah, because that is the truth. We are still transiting to democracy. Democracy is full-blown only to the extent that the people will lead. And how will the people lead? When certain politics are anti-you and you protest over them, government listen to it and work an amicable resolution that you and the government can be on the same level. That is what democracy is all about.
It's off. Okay. Thank you very much. Camera guys, are you good? Thank you very much. Set? Good? Good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, we could come together.
very much. Thank you, Dr. John. Thank you for the help. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for this new task. Ladies and gentlemen, this is gradually bringing us to a close for this section because we are